If you still want to do the Botox and the fillers, go for it. But also have a real connection to your purpose and you will feel so young. Some of these cliches and these corny sayings that we put up on Instagram are very accurate. We are here for the journey and we get to choose what that journey is and who we want to do that journey with. Another way to think about it also is a buffet. You go to a buffet, there's all of these options and you're choosing, what do you want to experience now? What do you feel like having now? And then that's what you choose to experience. This was so good that I had to study it 2 days in a row with my clients. And then I thought, I need to do a podcast on this. So buckle up. This is going to be a fun one. Welcome to Possibilities with me, Hina. I am a peak performance mindset coach, and I help you create a life you love through ease, joy, and fun. No time for the hustle, grind, and struggle over here. A couple of days ago, I studied this chapter with my clients, and it's in the book Happier Than God by Neil Donald Walsh. And it's chapter 18, and it's called Why We Forget and How. And it was so good. And we had so many aha moments that I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to dedicate a whole podcast episode to this idea. So, shall we study together? He starts with saying that the more we become, the more we are capable of becoming. And the more we are capable of becoming, the more we become. And what I love about this is that it speaks to the true purpose of a goal. You see, a true purpose of a goal is not to get. It's not to get something. It's about who you become. The true purpose of a goal is to grow. And I would say that's why we're here, for our soul's growth. And so it never ends, even when we depart this physical earth. Our soul is still growing. We are still growing. It is infinite. And so right now, if you ever feel guilty for desiring more, wanting more, that you reach a goal, and of course you're full of gratitude for what you have and where you are right now, and you desire more, and there's been some guilt around that, you can let that go because it is our nature to desire more. He goes on to say, were it not so, life would ultimately and logically come to an end, for growth would come to an end. And when growth stops, life stops, for the process of life is growth itself. The process of life is growth itself. It makes me think about when people retire. And sometimes when they retire, they start to decline very quickly. And it is because they don't have this purpose. They don't have something that is requiring growth in them. I think that's why Bob, my mentor, and actually most of my mentors that have lived long lives, they're working right up until the end because it is their growth. I often say that purpose is the fountain of youth. Purpose will have you aging backwards. So if you still want to do the Botox and the fillers, go for it. But also have a real connection to your purpose, and you will feel so young because you're going to wake up every day excited about what's ahead, about what you're creating, who you get to mix with. Life will always become a larger version of itself. It's always expanding. And when the largest version of itself is realized, known, and experienced, life will invent an even larger version. For life has no intention of ending. God has no intention of not being God. And if when I say God, you feel a little something about it, just think of source, universe, higher self, infinite intelligence, whatever works for you. I don't want you to miss this because this is so good because of that word. God has no intention of not being God. It could not, even if it wanted to. The one and only thing that God cannot do is not be. This is the one thing that you cannot do either. But you can do something quite unusual. You can forget who you are. I think that's why I called my book A Return to You, because it's not that you're broken and need to be fixed. No matter what is happening in your life right now, you are not broken. And it really comes down to a remembering, a recalling of who you really are. And in order to do that, we forget who we are. And indeed, you will do this in order that you may experience who you are again, in order to experience that you are divine. You are divine. You. Say it with me. I am divine. Louder for the people in the back. I am divine. So why is forgetfulness necessary? I remember when I first started studying this material, I was like, but why? Why do we have to forget? Why do we have to even go through all of this? And it's really quite simple. God is the creator. This means that you are the creator. Yet for you to experience yourself as the creator, you would have to create something, and everything that there is to create has already been created. Everything that ever was has already been created, and ever shall be has already been created, and it is now. Time is an invention of God allowing you to see all that has been created one thing at a time. And so when I was thinking about this idea and I was like, why? Why do we have to go through this forgetting and then remembering? I thought about the idea around travel. Why do we travel? When I talk to people about creating wealth in their life, one of the things that is on the top of, I would say, 98% of everybody's list, like in the top 5, is travel. And they want to have experiences not only for themselves, but they want to take their families on trips. But why? Why travel? Why go somewhere else, get packed up, all of the inconveniences that come with traveling, spend the money, the time, having to arrange things to be able to do it, to take the time to go and do that, go to the airport, all of it, when all you're going to do is come back home. So think about that. Well, many people will say it's for the experience. It's for the experience of being somewhere different. Being immersed in a different culture, hearing a different language, different smells, different sounds, different environment that evoke something different in you, that you get to experience a different side of you by being in that environment, by having different memories that you're creating with your friends and families, meeting people that you may not meet in your day-to-day life, that you'll meet somewhere else, learning, growing, right? All of those things, eating different foods, like even your taste buds, your palates, having these different experiences. That's why we travel, but we're coming home, but we do that for the experience. And so then I thought, well, I believe that we're infinite beings and we've come here and this is our soul's journey. So we have traveled from the infinite, come onto this planet that is spinning, this rock that is spinning in these like bodies to create separation, to make us feel like we're having this individuated experience, but we come from the one and we get to like enjoy every minute of it while we're here if we choose. We get to have children if that's what we want to have. We get to travel, live in certain countries, eat certain food, wear certain clothes, try different things, smell different smells, meet up with different people, touch. Enjoy a good cup of tea, start businesses, go for things, create a podcast. I get to create a podcast while I'm here on this earth. How fun is that? Write a book. And then I'm going to go back home in the same way that I would when I travel. I come back here, but when I'm done here, I'm going to go back to the infinite, to source. So when I really took that in, I was like, yeah, We're here for the frickin' experience of it. And it's all here and available to us. We have been conditioned to not experience it, to not experience all the wealth, the abundance, health, great relationships. And in remembering who we are, our soul is growing. And we get to remember who we are through all the experiences that we choose to have. And then I thought of it this way. I thought of it like this beautiful big library, this big bookstore. And it's like books from floor to ceiling. And they've got those ladders that you see to go and reach some books at the top. And maybe they are all the experiences that you can have in this lifetime. And we're choosing what we want to have. Isn't this so friggin' good? Like, let that sink in. Maybe you chose to have the experience of having dogs. My dog is right beside me snoring, so that's why I'm thinking of Tulip. Maybe you chose the experience of, I want to be an actor. Maybe you chose the experience of starting a business. Maybe you chose the experience of being a manager at a store. Maybe you chose the experience of, I want to run a marathon. And so we finish one experience just like when you finish a book, then you go and grab another book. You don't say, I'm done reading now. I'm done with books. You listen to this podcast and then you listen to another one, right? It's not like I've listened to one podcast, I'm done. That's what we're here for. So let's enjoy the experience. I remember I used to get so rattled when people would say, it's the journey, enjoy the journey. But you know what? They're right. Some of these cliches and these corny sayings that we put up on Instagram are very accurate. We are here for the journey. And we get to choose what that journey is and who we want to do that journey with. And some people will be with us for a long time, for a lot of our journey, and some won't. We'll have some people that'll be here and there for us in our journey. So for you to experience yourself creating something, you would have to not be able to see everything at once. So it's all here at once, but we're picking our experiences so that we can have the experience of creating it. That is why time was invented. Since at any given point in time, you cannot see everything at once, you cannot know that everything has already been created. Unless, of course, you happen to remember that this is so, and that's what this podcast is about, waking you up. So this is where forgetfulness comes in. Time creates the possibility of memory because then we have past, present, and future, and we have a memory of something happening in the past. In the place of no time, memory is both impossible and pointless, as everything is perceived at once, right here, right now. Memory, like time, is limited. Eternity is not. It is timeless. Because both memory and time are limited, and because that which is limited cannot hold that which is unlimited, you cannot hold in human memory a knowledge of all the things which have been created in all the when, wheres of eternity. We hear of people having access to this and having an experience of it when we hear those that have had a near-death experience. When they have left their body, you'll hear things that are very similar that speak to this. Memory is limited to then and there, whereas here and now is not limited at all, and it is all here and now. Here and now extends forever throughout eternity and infinity. Even in your own earthly experience, notice that it is always here and now. There is no other time at all that you can experience. So tomorrow you will experience here and now. If we go to the past in our mind and bring that memory to the forefront and really get involved in it, it is here and now. And our subconscious can't distinguish between real and imagined. It is all here right now. And all of our power is here right now. And that's why the here and now is the holiest moment we have. And so many of us are disconnected from it. We disassociate from the here and now. Godliness, it turns out, is a one-time experience. God wishes to experience God's self always, indeed, forever and ever, and even forevermore. And so God invented you. Another way to think about it also is a buffet. You go to a buffet, there's all of these options, and you're choosing what do you want to experience now? What do you feel like having now? And then that's what you choose to experience. You and time and everything in life are God's tools, allowing God to experience itself endlessly. Through the device of time and memory, which produces the possibility of forgetfulness, you are able to experience creating again. So, in a way, we are becoming aware of what has already been created. It is already here. It's our consciousness has become aware of it. We have become conscious of it. This act of recreation is God's great joy. This is why it is called recreation. When you, as a human being, create something out of thin air, which is, of course, how everything has been created, since everything created by humans was once merely an idea in someone's mind, all you're really doing is remembering that it already exists. What is so beautiful about this and how you can apply this to your daily life and your goals is many times we have a goal and then we have resistance to the goal, and that's what keeps it separate. But if we don't have resistance to the goal, what do we have? We have acceptance. This is a way that you can accept things quickly, easily, effortlessly, right away. It's through this study, it's through realizing it already exists and it's available to you and for you. We just have to go to the frequency where it exists. It's already here. And this is why the how is none of your business, because there's infinite ways that this can come to fruition. And as you can see here, we're dealing with an intelligence that can hold everything in the here and now. We are limited by our physical brains. And in the human construct, when we're leaning too heavily on the human construct to figure out the how, it's going to be a limited how. If we lean on infinite intelligence, well, now we have everything that's ever existed, everything that will ever exist, all right now at our fingertips. This is part of accepting it, and then we can relax and be like, okay, so of course the how is none of my business. Just give me my next steps. What are my next steps? Let me connect to source. Let me connect to intuition. Oh, that person has come to mind. I'm going to reach out to them. I feel like creating this. Oh, I just happened to run into somebody. Those pieces are going to be orchestrated perfectly for you when you release and surrender. All things already exist. You don't have to make it happen. Allow it. Allow yourself to experience it. Be the person that doesn't keep it away. All effects, all circumstances, all outcomes, all conceivable experiences and expressions of life have already occurred and now exist in timeless space. Whew. Let the universe do the heavy lifting. They rest peacefully in all the whens and wheres of eternity. What you are doing when you use the energy of attraction is to magnetize and call forth from the field of infinite possibilities, the experience and the expression of life that you choose right here, right now. So think about it. It's like that library, that bookstore. You're choosing, you're calling forth, you're being guided to, oh, yeah, I want this one. And for some of you, as you're hearing me speak, you may say, I actually want to learn more, Hannah, about what you do. What are the programs that you recreated in this lifetime that your clients, that if I become a client, I can have that experience and be with you? Well, in the show notes, we have that information of what's open for enrollment. So basically, you apply, and then we can let you know what's open for enrollment. And you can have that experience of you and I working together if that's what you choose. In this, you once again experience being a creator because you're you called this podcast forth. We are both and all the cause and effect in each other's experience. I was thinking, oh my gosh, when I did this, I was like, I've got to teach this in a podcast. I want to share this with a greater group. Somewhere you've been asking for this content. And you may also be asking for a community. You may also be asking for coaching. You're like, I've been like looking for somebody and that dabbles and knows this kind of material, spirituality meets peak performance. So we're co-creating. You can create, call forth virtually anything you choose. You simply have to know how the choosing is done. Isn't this so good? Okay, I want you to listen to this again. And can you do me a favor? Most people listen to our podcasts on Apple and Spotify, and that is awesome. So if that's what you're listening to it on, will you rate, review, and download it? Because that's what helps to push this out and allows us to reach more people. If you're on YouTube, can you do me a favor and go hit subscribe? Because then you're gonna know when the next episode comes out or any new video. And again, we really, really wanna grow that channel, so that would mean a lot to me. And if you do listen on Apple or Spotify, head over to YouTube and subscribe as well. That is something that allows us to reach more people. Now, here's something else. As you've been listening to this, do you have a bestie that you're like, oh my gosh, you have to hear this episode? I want you to share this episode with them right now. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for being part of my experience here on Earth. At some point, my time here is going to be done, and then I will leave this planet and continue to grow beyond this planet, go back home. But while I'm here, this is a blast, and it is so great to do this with you. I will see you here next time on Possibilities.